There we go. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being on tonight. Thank you for taking time out of your busy night, busy week. Many of you guys probably have kids that started back to school or are just on the brink of starting back to school. So you're at back to school parent orientation, all the things. So we really, really appreciate you guys taking the time to hang out with us tonight. My name is Emily Burgess. Like I said, I live in Boise, Idaho. I am a diamond here. I've been a part of Plexus for 5 years, 5.5. And we are really passionate about what we're going to share about tonight because of how much it's changed like our lives individually, but so many other people's lives that we know, people that we're close with. And I just want to say, like, that might sound silly. There might be some people that are rolling their eyes, like, yeah, right. Like, you're just saying that, like, just trying to get me in on this salesy thing. And I want to say, I was so skeptical for 4.5 years. My girlfriend sent me samples of the Slim, the pink drink, and I threw them in the trash. She sent me 3 of them, and I threw them in the trash. Like, that is how skeptical I was. And so I just appreciate that you guys are here, and I hope that you have, like, open ears, open hearts to know, like, what we are coming to you and sharing tonight is something we're super passionate about. So the theme of tonight's call is how to build a strong Plexus business. I've never used a fancy PowerPoint, so let's see if we know how to do this. See, okay. So before I started with the supplements, you can see me on the left in the before pictures. I am a wife and a mom of two, at the time, 2 young daughters. I was very exhausted. I did not sleep at night. I was super restless. I would wake up because the kids would stir, and then I just couldn't fall back asleep. I'd have a laundry list, a mile long, that I just could not fall back asleep. And then I would wake up exhausted, and it was just this cycle. I was very bloated feeling. I thought it was normal to just have gas all of the time. I thought it was normal to not use the restroom more than, 2 or 3 times a week. I would go into my closet. I don't know if you guys can see that top left picture. My closet is right behind me. And I would go and stand in that closet on Sunday mornings getting ready for church. And I would just cry because my clothes did not fit like they once had. We were really tight financially. So I wasn't about to go and spend more money, especially on a size larger than what I had in my closet. And so I just lived in yoga pants, and I was super insecure in how I looked. I was not clear of the mind, so I didn't feel like I could have conversations with adults. I just was tired. I also really longed for deep friendships. When my husband and I got married, we got pregnant like 2 weeks after we got married. We didn't know how all of the birds and the bees worked. And we moved to Colorado. And I remember being really huge and pregnant. We didn't know anybody. It was in the summer, so it was really hot. We were super lonely. And I just remember crying to my husband saying, I just want a friend that will go and eat chips and queso with me. Like, I just longed for friendship, and I was tired. Well, so then after 4.5 years of me saying, nope, I do not want to do this Plexus thing because I was not going to have the wool pulled over my eyes, I ended up getting to the place where I was just tired of feeling the way that I felt. So I reached out to my friend who had sent me those samples that I had thrown away, and she ended up sending me 2 months worth of our cornerstone combo called the Triplex. She also sent some other products along with it that really focused on weight loss. So she sent them to me for free because she knew that we were really tight financially, and she also knew that I was very skeptical, but she knew that I loved people deeply and I was a hard worker. And if I caught the vision of Plexus, if I believed in the products, that I would do a really good job with the business. And so she made that sacrifice, that financial sacrifice, and was super generous and gave me 2 months worth of it. And so after 2 months of being on the products for free, I really liked how I was feeling. And so I had to make the decision of if I was going to pay for the products and become a Plexus girl and have to get out there and like get on people's social media and try to sell this pink drink, or if I was going to go back to feeling the way that I had felt. And it was a really hard decision because I really value relationships. I really value authenticity. And while I find my hope in Jesus, like I really like people to like me. Like I don't want people to run away when they see me coming. I want people to know that I am genuine. And so that was a really hard decision because you've seen it done wrong. I had seen it done wrong a few different times. And so it made me scared. But after a full month, my husband and I made a pro and con list of what it would look like if I were to start sharing about Plexus. And it was so interesting. Cara, this is a little longer than I thought I'd be. I'm so sorry, but it was so interesting. In the pro and con list, I looked at the con list, and on the con side, it was all like these stories of, well, I'm afraid people might not like me, or people might not support me, or that it might embarrass my family, or whatever. But then on the pro side, it was like, I can continue to feel really good on these products. I can continue to be a better mom because I have energy for my children. I can feel more confident in myself, and that spills over to everyone around me in a very positive way. I can start providing for our family because I had seen friends of mine go from basically like rags to riches after years of hard work, but I saw them change things for their families. And so I knew in the depths of my soul that this was the vessel that could change things for my family because what we were doing, we were like on a hamster wheel. Like my husband was working multiple jobs. I was working multiple jobs. We were only purchasing things from thrift stores or yard sales or getting things off the side of the road and remodeling them or repainting them and selling them. We were doing everything we could to stay within our budget and to move forward, and we just weren't. And so in January of 2017, I decided, okay, I'm going to do this. And I was really nervous, wanted to throw up, but I also was really excited because those things that we had dreamed about that I just kind of like pushed aside, like those are not for us. Like we can't get our kids into sports. We can't go and travel. We can't go and buy a house. Like all our, dream home or whatever. All those things just were so far fetched. But once we started this business, I started to catch the vision and they started to like become more real and like, okay, this actually maybe could happen. And so for me, health wise, I woke up literally, I would wake up and I felt leaner. I felt more confident in who I was. I was going to the bathroom multiple times a day, which is a really healthy thing to do. I was sleeping super deep at night. And I was not exhausted during the day. I did not operate on sugar and caffeine. I had control over those areas and I wasn't constantly tooting. I know that's so embarrassing, but it was helping me in all the areas. So I started to share and things started to change for our family in that. So I will pass it off to Cara now.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cara, and I'm an Emerald with Plexus. We're going to talk a little bit about what that is later. And I'm going to share very briefly my story. Unlike Emily, I did not think I needed these products. So I was not super skeptical of Plexus, but that is because I had never really heard of it. and so I had multiple friends reach out to me about network marketing things in the past, and it was something that I was never interested in. I had my doctorate in physical therapy. I was working full time, and I felt good. I felt normal. I didn't think that I was struggling with anything health wise. And that is where I was before Plexus. But now that I actually feel better, I realized that I wasn't feeling very good. And I could have felt so much better. And so some things before Plexus, we had tons of student loan debt. I graduated in 2016 with my doctorate in PT. And at that point, we had like $120,000 in student loans. And so we were already working to pay that off when I started Plexus. It was very important to us to pay that off, but we had paid off, I think, like around 40 to 45,000 when I started Plexus. I was looking for a way to make money on maternity leave. And literally that was the reason I started. I told Emily, I don't even know what Plexus is, but will you tell me a little bit about the products? I'm going to try them because I'm not going to sell anything that I am not taking. And so I like this says, I thought having a headache every week was normal. That was my normal. It has been my normal since I was a little kid. I remember I always had sugar, always. In PT school, I would like walk across the street to the Dollar General and grab a Dr. Pepper and a Reese's. And like, that would be my daily snack during PT school. And Sonic vanilla Dr. Pepper multiple times a week. And I'll be honest, I had one tonight at dinner, but I did not even finish it. So goes into, oh, I can't change the slide. You'll have to do that. I was like, why won't it change? So after Plexus, this has been 4.5 years now. But my student loans are gone. Right now I'm staying home. I'm going to talk a little bit more about financially in the business later. But right now I'm staying home with all 3 of my daughters. I don't have headaches anymore, like ever. And so that's crazy to me. I do have control over those sugar cravings. I'm unable to finish a vanilla Dr. Pepper as much as I still love them. I just need a little taste and then I'm done. And then I have energy to hang out with my daughters throughout the day. So that's a little bit about me and health-wise. And Em's going to take it over.
So we want to tell you a little bit about the background of Plexus, because here's the thing. We want you to have some belief in what these products have done for others, and then we want you to have an understanding of where Plexus came from. So in 2008, it was primarily a breast health company. They had 2 products focused solely on breast health. And then in 2009, they created this cornerstone product called the pink drink, called Slim. That changed everything. Then in 2014, they dove into the world of gut health. And I have heard over and over that Plexus is just super innovative with their products, that we are always at the top of the line. And even just a minute ago, before we got onto this call, I saw somebody make a comment about how they took their daughter to the pediatrician and the daughter has something going on, like a rash or something going on. And the doctor said she's got a microbiome disbalance or unbalance or something like that. So like gut health is really becoming very, very popular now. People are understanding the root issues surrounding gut health. So Plexus hit the ground running in 2014 with gut health combinations. And then in 2017 and on, they've launched so many incredible products. Again, very focused on gut health, but they've launched products for families, for anxiety, skincare, multivitamins, all the things. Next, this pumps me up. So yesterday I was doing some research because I wanted to come to you guys and show you, because I really, really care about integrity. If any of you are familiar with the Enneagram, I'm an Enneagram 1. That's very important to me, integrity. I want to have my name attached to something that's ethical. If you are not muted, if you don't mind muting yourself, I think there's a little bit of feedback and I can't see everybody on here. I love that. Thank you. So I wanted to share a few quick things with you that Plexus has been awarded, honored for, or recognized for. So in 2021, Plexus donated more than 7.6 million meals to Feeding America. If you are familiar with our lean product, it's our protein. Every bag of protein that you purchase, every bag of lean that you purchase, Plexus then donates 14 meals for one bag. That's amazing. So they donated 7.6 million meals last year. We have been named for the past 5 years in a row that Plexus at corporate down in Arizona is the best place to work in direct selling, which is huge because there are hundreds and hundreds of direct selling companies, and we've been named the top in the past 5 years. So that means Plexus takes care of its employees, which is important. Plexus has over 300 employees, I believe, just at their headquarters. And if that's the best place to work, that's amazing. We were ranked number 25 in the top direct selling companies in the world. That's huge. There are hundreds and hundreds of direct selling companies in the world, and we were number 25 last year. This one is huge for me. We are recognized as a finalist for this really special award for ethics and integrity. We also we brought in over $500 million in revenue in last year, 2021. We've been featured on one of the fastest growing companies in the direct selling industry. And then within Arizona, think about this, within Arizona, Plexus is the 10th largest privately held company and the 11th fastest growing company in the state. And so they are providing so many jobs for so many people in Arizona, which I'm super proud of. And then lastly, this is a huge thing. The Better Business Bureau, the highest rating you can get is an A+, and we've been holding at an A+ rating for a very long time. We are debt-free, and we're backed by Morgan Stanley, which I think is incredible, absolutely incredible. We've been around for over 12 years. And then lastly, we were the recipient of an award called the Bravo Impact. And it just is about different companies that take on holistic, measured, and incremental approach to growth, innovation, and operational integrity and excellence. And so when I was looking it up on the direct selling news yesterday, I was just blown away at how awesome Plexus is.
Okay, so I'm going to hop back in and just kind of briefly go over some other reasons why this company is just just a great opportunity. So right now, you can have a startup cost for $10, $9.95, and that is your sign up fee for your business. One thing, we don't have to keep any inventory, right? So you do not have to like purchase a bunch of product and then try and sell it at all. You only have to make a monthly purchase for your products to be commission qualified. So you can earn commissions even just on your own order. So if you are buying products for your entire family, you're going to earn money on your own order, which is awesome. Another reason that Plexus is a great company to start with if you're considering network marketing is that we have consumable products that work, right? So consumable, right? That means we take them every month, and so people buy them every month. And so that's generating that revenue for you every single month, those commissions every single month, residual income every single month as people order from you. And then we also have products that work. We have story after story after story of these products changing so many people's health, and from all kinds of different things. And our company is still growing in products. We're launching new products every year, different flavors of products. We're continuing to grow and expand. And Em said this, but our company has been around for over 12 years. And they say, what did you say, Em? If the company,
yeah, they say that if a direct selling company has been around for 10 years or more, then that means they have a very solid foundation, because there are so many companies that try to start up and then they might last a year or two or three. And so the fact that we're beyond the 10-year mark is really huge.
Yeah. And you get a turnkey business with this. You have a full-on website that people go to. You have customer service that you don't pay. You have customer service representatives that you don't pay to do it. So everything is hand packaged to you. We also have tons of resources, and this team is incredible. We have monthly calendars that we're doing. Plexus has tools and different resources for us. They just announced this summer Pivotal, which is a workout and nutrition plan to go alongside, so you don't even have to be doing that for your people. And so everything is packaged for you, and you just have to take the tools and run with it. And it's so simple. We have ethical executives, the two men that run our company. They are just full of integrity. And a grocery shopping list. That's right, Kylie. There's a grocery shopping list with those nutrition plans. It's awesome. But the executives have incredible integrity. Like Emily said, we have won awards for the integrity of our company. So that's something super important. Okay, so how do you get started? That's what we're going to kind of delve into right now. These are the different ranks within Plexus. Okay, so the first rank in Plexus is silver, and then you kind of work your way up: senior silver, gold, senior gold, ruby, senior ruby, and then over to the right side you'll see those are our jewels. I'm going to talk more about all of the ranks. So silver, the first one in our company, that just means you have 3 people that ordered from you within a month. And yes, on this call, we have someone at every single rank. We're going to talk more about silver, so I'm not going to go into that right this second. But I was thinking about these different ranks and what rank I was and what we were doing with our family when I hit those ranks. And so senior silver is a new rank, so I never actually hit that rank. But when we went gold, my daughter was 10 months old. I had been 10 months into this business, and my husband and I got to go on a cruise together by Plexus. Plexus paid for this cruise. It was our first time to leave my daughter, but it was such a life-giving moment for us to be able to be together and invest in our marriage after having a baby 10 months ago. And you don't get a lot of time for each other when you have a baby. We just know that, right? And so that was super encouraging to me, and also to my husband, for him to see me work for that, and then for him to be rewarded with a cruise. And that's only the 3rd level in the company that I earned that. And we have people that go gold on this call, people that have gone gold in 60 days or less even. And so it's very possible. It took me, Kylie went gold in 42 days. It took me 9 months. Okay. So just kind of, it's different for everyone. But I was consistent. And then when I hit ruby, I was able to cut down my hours at my full-time PT job. I was able to work less hours because the ruby income was supplementing half of what I was making as a full-time PT at that time. And so that was incredible for us. And then at senior ruby, you get an extra perk, and you only get it at this rank. And sometimes when people go to the Plexus website and without a sponsor, and they just sign up and they just say, I want to do this, those people are assigned to a senior ruby ambassador. So you get leads. It's called the leads program. And you get new customers coming to you every single month that you don't even know, because they just came to the website. And so that's a really cool perk of that rank. And then when you get into the jewel level, that is, it's like what everybody's working towards, right? And so when we hit emerald, we're an emerald team right now, my team is, and when we hit emerald, it was the month after I had my second daughter. It was June of 2020. And that solidified me not having to go back to work, even part-time. So that means for me, it's, you also get, the fancy car, and you get the luxurious trip for 2. We're actually going to Hawaii next month in just a few weeks. Me, my husband, and my 2-month-old, we will be going to Hawaii. And we actually had 5 people from our team earn this. We have 5 jewels on our team. And so we are all going to be going. There's pretty much uncapped earning potential. So even after you hit diamond, Plexus actually allows you to re-enter under yourself and go all through the ranks again. So we have double diamonds in this company. People sign their husbands and they work under their husbands and things like that. And so there is uncapped income potential with this company.
Yeah, so my family, we're a diamond. I went diamond, I think the same month, June 2020, right? So Cara and I, we ranked up at the same time. And what that has meant for our family is, well, first off, I want to say when I started Plexus, I was working part-time for a nonprofit ministry and I was making $500 a month. When we hit gold, we made the decision as a family for me to leave that job because Plexus was paying me double what I was making with my part-time job at gold level. So I was able to stay home with my family at gold level. So this is real money. We're not sharing the income disclosure just because we want to be really careful, like with compliance, because we do have integrity and ethics, and the FTC has told network marketing that that's something that they're not supposed to do. So we're being kind of vague here. But if you have questions like, okay, show me the money, show me pay stubs, I need to know what you're talking about, feel free to send us a private message and we totally will. But when you get to the jewel level, that's when it's known that you are averaging like a 6-figure income every year. And so diamond is at the very top. And we have, we're not fancy people at all, but we really like free. So we have a free Lexus upstairs in our garage right now. We were able to move our family into a dream neighborhood that my sister, my brother, and I grew up in. So we're able to be here as a family. We were able to take our family to England for 2.5 weeks just a few weeks ago because I was able to get my husband out of his full-time job, and he is now working for himself because of this opportunity with Plexus. And so we both are self-employed, and so we were able to take our family to England and work as missionaries over there. And there just have been so many opportunities. We're able to get our kids into the sports that I just thought we'd never be able to get them into. So we're super, super grateful for all of the blessings that have come financially, health-wise, and community-wise with Plexus. So let's go ahead and talk now. All right, so you've told us you can make really good money here. We know the backstory of Plexus. We know it's got integrity. We know the products work. Okay, so now where do I begin? Like, how do I start making this type of income? So what Cara had shared, the very first rank that you want to go towards is called silver. And so an easy way for you to remember that is that's me plus 3. So meaning me as in I've purchased my products for the month. I'm commission qualified. I've purchased a triplex, so I'm commission qualified. Now I just need 3 more friends to come and do this with me. So for me, oh, well, here, let me tell you this really fast too. If you're looking here, we're able to share with you here. Plexus is really good about giving bonuses just to reward us and to, celebrate us for our hard work. And if you see here, 3 different columns, let's say you have been with Plexus and you've already gotten to the silver rank. If you look here on the left-hand side, if you add, 1, 3, 6, 9, 17, those are the dollar amounts that you can make just in bonuses alone, just in bonuses. The middle column you can see here, if you've been with Plexus, let's say you've been with Plexus for a year, and you refer 3 friends, you're going to make $208. Well, let's say that you signed up yesterday and you're like, okay, I'm going to get behind this. I'm going to get some of my friends to come and do this with me. Because you're in a 30-day period from when you signed up, you're able to make a really good amount of money. So next is when you think about who are the 3 people that could come and do this with me, think about accountability. We know that when you have accountability, whether that is with reading your Bible every day or exercising daily or eating healthy or taking supplements, having that accountability is going to raise your chances of sticking consistently with what you're doing, like tremendously. And so we like to think of it as have some accountability. So for me, like my husband, he and I do this every single night. Like we take our products every single night. So he's my accountability partner. So be thinking about that. Who could be your friend, your accountability partner in doing this? If you want to go even a little bit deeper and thinking through, okay, who of my friends need the product? You have friends out there who I guarantee you are silently suffering with anxiety, with IBS, with exhaustion and fatigue with all sorts of things, financial stress, thinking about who needs the products. Then think about who would be amazing in the business. So when I think about that, I think about people who are kind. I think about people who are others focused, who are generous, who are authentic, who are givers, who are influential in the community because of all those characteristics. Those are the people in my mind who would be amazing in the business. And then the next, you could think about who could benefit with some extra cash. Is it that mom that just kind of seems a little bit stressed at the end of the month and she could really benefit from having an extra stream of income? So think about those different areas of people that you know of. For me, it was a childhood acquaintance that I went to church with that I hadn't talked to in like 25 years. She saw me posting on social media. A friend of mine that I had worked with years prior, and then another friend that I was currently working with at my nonprofit. So if you look here on mine, you don't see that like a best friend or a family member signed up. And so I want to share that with you too, because I think Cara and I were talking about it this afternoon when we were kind of prepping for this call. I think for me, maybe one of the most emotional things for me starting out was I felt like, well, if my family and my friends aren't doing this, they're not supporting me. And that means everybody feels this way. Everybody feels like I'm a scam and I'm trying to sell them on something because my dearest people aren't supporting me in this. And that was not the right mind frame at all. It just wasn't the right time for them, because you have a lot of people whose family and friends do join them. But I want to share that with you because I don't want you to go down that rabbit hole of like telling yourself these stories, because I feel like family and friends are sometimes the hardest because they just need to kind of step back and see what you're doing. Cara, what about you?
My three were my mom, a second cousin of mine, and a friend from church who had seen me post about it. Okay, so after you find your three people, we're going to talk about how to talk to them in a minute, but doing this business is simple. Okay, so how do you get to silver and beyond? You invite people to do Plexus with you. You post about it on social media, and then you train yourself. And so that's pretty much it. No, that's okay. We're going to talk about all three of those things, so I'm not going to go into detail. Get organized from the very beginning. Now, you can spend a lot of time trying to organize yourself and trying to find a way that works for you. And it took me a long time to do that. But when I first started Plexus, I was a new mom. I had a 2-week-old baby when I clicked join, and M said, make a list. I said, okay. And so I went through my Facebook list and I just typed everybody out, and I had an Excel sheet, and I had over 250 names of people that I wanted to invite. So I did it all on Excel originally. I've now gone back to paper and pen, and I use a calendar. I have a notebook with my list of names. I'm constantly adding people to that list. I'm constantly taking people off of that list. But I have this list of names that I am wanting to reach out to, wanting to invite them to do this with me. When I do send them a message, I'll write them down in my planner for that day that I sent them. And then that way, the next week I can look back like, oh, who do I need to follow up with? And I can go back to the previous week and say, oh, I sent a message to this girl and she hasn't responded to me. I want to follow up and see if she forgot to respond to my message. Or for me, I open messages all the time when I'm changing a dirty diaper and forget to respond. And so I'm like, I'm going to follow up with them because I really care enough to follow up. It wasn't just I sent a message to every single person that was online right then. And so I actually thought about them and wanted to send them a message. So there are lots of ways to get organized with your list, but that's what I've found that works for me.
So when you think about inviting, like that list of 250 people that Cara made out, I think the important thing to think through here is that you are inviting, because whether you are brand new and you're just hearing our stories of how this has helped change everything for our families, or you've been around for a while and you yourself have experienced change with the products, or you've seen a paycheck come through, you know that this is the real deal, and you are inviting not so you can just skyrocket to the top with yourself in mind. You're inviting because who knows? Like, who knows if these people that are put on your heart have been praying for something like this, whether it's for their health, whether it is for an additional stream of money. So you just know, like, this is something that could help somebody. And so I'm just going to offer it. If my girl who invited me for 4.5 years did not continually reach out and follow up and tell me why she felt like I would be good with the business, like our lives would look totally different. So I'm extremely passionate about inviting people. I think that's really important. So what we've done here is I just have pulled out messages that I have sent out. I personally have sent out. And so you can see here for the person who needs the products, I always personalize mine because like I said, I very much value authenticity. And so it does take me a little bit of time to sit down and write these messages, but I write them from my heart. And so here's an example of one that I sent out. So be thinking, like, is this something that you think that you could do? The answer is yes, you absolutely can do this. Okay, so for a person who needs the products, hey, Sarah Beth, I know that you've shared that you struggle with blank, or you love to stay healthy, or you would be really great at what I do. I'm not sure if this would help you the way it has many of my friends who've seen relief in that same health struggle, but I thought I would reach out in case you'd never done any research on the products. Do you know much about the Plexus supplements? So to me, I think that's beautiful because I know that Sarah Beth struggles with anxiety. I don't know. Has she ever heard about gut health? Has she ever heard about these products that have helped a ton of my friends with anxiety? Why wouldn't I share that with her? Because it could help her. So that's one example. The next example I have here is for who I think would kill at the business. Hey lady, here's the deal. You've been on my mind for so long, but I've feared reaching out because 1, you're stunning and cool. 2, you're stunning and cool and you rock the LA life. 3, your sister is already involved. 4, I don't want you to think I'm just another crazy salesy woman. You're genuinely loved and adored by so many. You are respected. You are so connected. You are trusted, and you have such a beautiful moral compass. I 100% believe that you would love the Plexus products, and I 150% believe, whoops, see, you make mistakes there and you can still get to the top. I think you would be a total rock star with the business. Have you ever tried the products before? Have you ever been curious about the business side? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Love you, sister. So that is my language. That's not going to be Cara's language or Lisa Schupler's language. And so it all looks very different. Make sure it's you and your voice, but making it about others. The last example that I have here is for maybe a friend of yours that could benefit from extra income. Hey, blank. I know this is a crazy weird time in healthcare, and I thought of you being at the heart of it all. I know health is so important to you. Curious if you've ever considered network marketing to help people with their health as a second option of income. So those are just some examples of how you can be reaching out and inviting people starting now. Go ahead, Cara.
Forgot to unmute myself. So you reached out. Now what? What do you do? Right? You share on your social media. If you reach out and people are like, what is she talking about? And they go to your page and you've never said anything about Plexus, they're going to be like, what's this girl talking about? So you got to share. You have to share. So we have 2 first post examples. This is from one of our girls, Haley. So I'm going to read it for you guys, I guess. So it says, vulnerable post. For the majority of my life, I've had horrible food allergies, and recently my gut issues have become more severe. I knew that food allergies and gut health go hand in hand, so I dug even deeper into what I was eating. The second picture is after enjoying 1 cider, 13 grams of sugar, after a day of eating allergy and sugar free. The swelling in that photo is something I deal with on a weekly basis, and it can spring up at any time. I've been to doctors who simply suggest Miralax and cutting down my diet even more, but no real direction or answers on getting to the root of the issue. I know that my body needs more and that the suggestions are not a sustainable way to live. So I'm thrilled to start on natural supplements that focus on gut health and all the issues that stem from it. The problems have helped so many of my friends with GI issues, allergies, hormonal imbalance, energy, weight, sleep, cravings, and so many other things connected to our gut. I cringe looking at that photo, but I'm really excited to see some positive changes in my lifestyle. Sharing here in hopes that I can help someone else in their gut issues too and make you feel like you're not alone in this. Please feel free to reach out to me personally with any gut or food allergy questions and we can work through it together. Okay, so it's vulnerable, right? She's sharing her heart. This is another first post for someone who just got started and doesn't know how the products are even going to help her yet. She said, I'm so excited. I just purchased my pink drink and supplements, and I can't wait to see how they're going to help me. Over the past year, I've felt sick almost every day. I've been on antibiotics, pain meds for a lot of dental work, and now my gut is just off. I've always been curious about Plexus, but never understood what it did until now. I'm so excited to get my gut healthy again and start to feel more like myself. If you're curious about Plexus like I have been, or if you're wanting to better your health too, let me know. I'll connect you to my friends who helped me. I would love some accountability. Who's with me? So those are just two examples. The most important thing, just like sending a message, the most important thing about posting is that it comes from you. If I have someone that's getting ready to post, I say, okay, tell me what you're wanting out of these products. And they'll tell me. And then I kind of write up something that's kind of vague. And I say, make this your own, make it sound like it's your voice, because people on your social media, they follow you because they love you and they want to see you. And so if you're not sounding like yourself, they're going to scroll right past that. They're going to know that. And so, yeah, just be yourself when you're sharing on social media.
Yeah, and I think that sharing on social media was one of the things that I felt most vulnerable with. I felt really nervous to do that. And I actually, my sponsor, she said, okay, when you make your first post, put a picture with it. And you guys, I'm stubborn. And I was like, nope, I'm going to do this my way, which I would not recommend. But like, I didn't even put a picture with it because I was so afraid, but I did it. And then I learned and I grew. And here's the thing too. When you are sharing on social media, unless you are Beyonce, you cannot expect to share one time and then skyrocket to the top. You can't expect to post one time and get this dream teamer to come onto your team and you guys chug along just by that one post. You've got to put in the work. And here's the thing, too. People out there are just as skeptical as I was. They need their belief to be built. Just like we started this call by trying to build your belief by sharing our stories. We have a testimonial page called Trust Your Gut. If you're not in it yet, please tell the person that invited you here and ask them to add you to it. But that's a page where we just share story after story to build that belief. And that's our job on social media. But here's the thing. On social media, I want to make sure that everyone knows, like, you do not need to, and you should not be vomiting Plexus. Your Facebook and Instagram should not be like a commercial, whatever they call a commercial, an ad, whatever they're called. It should not be that. 70% of what you are sharing on social media should be something that is not Plexus, something that brings people to your page, whether that's funny things that your kids say, or recipes, or workouts, or organizational tips, or just things that you're learning as you're studying scripture, something that's going to make people, draw people in to come and see your life and want to be inspired and educated by you and empowered by you and all of the things. But here's some different post inspiration, and I'm not going to read through all of them, but what I want to encourage you to do is I want you to step outside of your comfort zone and make a goal of posting. Start slow. Post like once a week. Like do your first post, send out your messages, start that conversation, and then, like Cara said, build your credibility with what you're sharing in your messages by sharing what you're learning on social media. And it doesn't have to always be your story. In fact, it shouldn't always be your story. It can be, I just learned about gut health and the connection with anxiety through Harvard Medical, or, like sharing the things that you're learning as you're diving in. You're learning so much, and you can share that with your people. Now, of course, we're going to talk about compliance, and so Cara's going to address that in a minute. But sharing stories, sharing what you're learning, all the things are really important. And you can make them short. Like you can see mine right here. I started because I was tired of flubbing over my jeans. I stayed because I really liked how I was feeling. I shared because I knew I wasn't the only exhausted, heavy feeling, isolated mama out there. It does not have to be long. They can be longer, but they can be short. Have fun. I love social media now. I used to kind of cringe when I would think about having to do my social media posts, but I love it now because it's fun, it's engaging, it's helping people, it's adding value. So I encourage you guys to start maybe a list of a few names of people that you feel inspired by with their posts. So like Haley, she was the first post that we shared. She's a great poster. Cara's a great poster. Jordan Roddenberry on here is a great poster. Caroline McDonald, like Abby Snow. We have so many incredible posters on our team that you can write down their names as inspiration, and then you can go and you can click, and as you can see in the top right hand corner of all these posts, there are 3 dots. Click those 3 dots and click save, and so you can start compiling some inspirational posts that you can use. I wouldn't copy and paste them, like Cara said, use your voice, but use them as inspiration. And here's the thing too, as you are learning, which we're going to talk about in just a second, as you're training yourself, as you're learning, as you're growing, as you're adding value to yourself, you then are going to be able to add more value to other people as well. Oh, okay, real fast. The do's and don'ts about sharing, make sure that you are others focused. People do not like people who are inwardly focused. Be others focused. Make sure that you are striking up a conversation about Plexus with other people, asking those people questions, going to your sponsor for help. Whenever I first started, and still occasionally to this day, I would send message like screenshots, or I would forward messages over to my sponsor and say, how does this look? I'm about to send this to somebody. And she would say, okay, well, tweak this, tweak this. Or if somebody would respond to me and ask me a question, I would screenshot it and send it to my sponsor and say, okay, can you help me with a response in this? And so that just helped kind of get my feet on the ground. So I knew like the right way to respond. I had answers because she was helping me. So we don't want you to feel like you're on an island by yourself. You have a team of thousands of people on this team who are rooting for you and loving you and want to see you succeed. The don'ts with Plexus, do not vomit Plexus on people. Nobody wants that. Do not be, this is huge, do not be emotionally attached to the results. Because when you are emotionally attached to the results, let's say I send Cara a message and she's a dream teamer of mine and she doesn't respond, and then I go down the spiral and oh my gosh, I can't ever do this. She thinks I'm an idiot. Like whatever, like that's not healthy for you or your business. And there's going to be this urgency that's really unattractive when you have this desperation, when you are attached to the outcome. Have fun, learn, grow, and enjoy the process. And then lastly, don't be the expert. Like Cara was saying, we have so many resources. Your sponsor has resources. We want to help you. And if you are always acting as the expert and not pulling in like third-party tools such as articles or training videos, if you're being the expert, then that's hard for people to feel like they can then go and duplicate because they may not feel like the expert. So that's really, really important. Go ahead, Cara. Oh, sorry.
And one thing I wanted to just share, when you're sending messages, it is not uncommon to not get responses. They say on average, like statistically speaking, that for every 10 messages that you send, only 1 will respond to you. And I couldn't remember if that was anywhere in our presentation or not. So just wanted to say that because I know that can be discouraging in the very beginning, to send 2 messages and have no one respond. And you're like, oh, but it's pretty common, or it's not uncommon. Let's say that it's not uncommon. Okay, so talking about compliance, because we are a company full of integrity, we want to do everything right. Okay, I'm also an Enneagram 1. I want to do it right. I want to do it well. So we have a lot of compliant resources for you in the back office. And so things that you can say, your own experience, use a disclaimer there. There are ways we can talk you through that. Description of your symptoms, health-related articles. And then Plexus just announced this summer this website called Yes for Success. And it is a super simple website to help coach you through what you can say and what you cannot say. So it has like red flag words, which, so like you don't want to say those things on there. Basically, because we are a supplement company, right? We can only make claims that we have actually like done research for and can claim that. And so there are things that we cannot make claims of. And so if you were to post it and somebody could like screenshot it, send it to the FDA, no, not the FDA. What's the other one? FTC, thank you. They could send that and then Plexus could get in trouble. And so Plexus does a really good job of trying to make sure that we are all compliant in our posts. So, and we want to do that too. As your leaders, we want to help you do that. So things you cannot say like names of medications, medical conditions, you cannot say it cured your disease or anything like that. You can't have any misleading information there. You can't say, I put up one post and now I'm a millionaire or, you know, things like that. And so we just want to be really full of integrity as we do this, and utilize this yesforsuccess.com. It has PDFs for every single product. So if someone says, hey, I'm really struggling with energy, and you're like, oh, I want to talk to you about active, but you have no idea what to say, you go to yesforsuccess.com, you scroll down and find the active PDF sheet, and it has talking points. It tells you what you can say, it tells you what you cannot say about active, and going from there. It's a perfect resource. It's super easy. It talks about also disclaimers too for posts and things like that.
Okay, we're getting close to wrapping up. Thank you, Cara. That was a really good wrap up of the compliance. So I don't know if you've heard this before. We hear it all the time with Plexus. The fortune is in the follow-up. I don't know about you guys, but for me, it took me 4.5 years to finally say yes, and lots of follow-up. I do not have many people on my team, on this team here, who said yes with my first reach out. Like we said at the very beginning, people have to have belief in the products. They have to see that the products have value, and they have to see that the opportunity or the products can change things for them. And oftentimes that comes with time and you sharing stories, you sharing testimonials, you pouring belief into them. So I've got 3 follow-up message examples that I have sent out. Well, I think 2 of them are me and 1 is a friend. So I'm going to read them to you as you are starting to get into this, or as you have been here for a while and you might need a refresher. So here's a follow-up that I sent to one of my friends. Hey, Mia. And she and I had, like I said, this is follow-up. She and I have talked, and she'd shared with me some of her health struggles. So, hey, Mia, I saw a really incredible testimonial from a gal that made me think of you and the health struggles you shared with me. Would you be open to me sending it your way? Sometimes they just need to know that there's somebody else in their position struggling the same way they are, and now they're on the other side. How are they feeling? So they just need that confirmation and need to add value to the products before they can say yes. Another one. Hey, Mia. Anxiety and depression were some big health issues you had shared with me a few months ago when you were asking about the Plexus supplements. I know that the timing wasn't right then, but corporate just issued a huge discount that expires in a few days. Is this something you'd like to consider trying out? I am not attached to this at all. Like, she shared with me that she's really struggling with those issues. I know that she could benefit from the costs being lowered because that's what she had shared with me. So corporate had a discount. Why wouldn't I go to her? Because I know the products could help and I know there's going to be a discount. But again, not attached to that, which is a good thing because she never responded. Okay, and then the last example here. Hey, Molly, I'm not going to give up on you just yet because I seriously can't imagine anyone better to do this Plexus biz with me. Not only are the products amazing and you need them with 2 littles, trust me, but it's been a huge financial blessing for Brant and I. I just love your social media presence already. So adding this in would be so simple. Say yes. So it's not salesy. Like, we don't have to be salesy here. We are being like real people who want people to come and do this. We love these people and we know that it could benefit them. So just remembering the fortune is in the follow up. I mean, I think I've heard it different ways, but I've heard something along the lines of like people need anywhere from like 8 to 16 touch points before they finally agree to say yes. So keep that in mind. Don't send out one message, hey, I think you'd be amazing at this, come and do this, and then never follow up with them, because that then is making you that girl. That then is making you just somebody trying out to make a buck, which that may not be your heart, but that's how it is displayed. If you really believe that somebody would be amazing at this, or that the products would really help somebody, then continue in a loving way, continue to follow up with them. Is this you, Cara? We're almost done, guys.
I think it's me. So you're reaching out, you're posting on social, you're following up. What do you do next? Train yourself always. Okay. So we have a ton of Plexus Worldwide resources. Plexus has a YouTube channel. They have all kinds of YouTube videos, like testimonial videos that are compliant because they've created them. They're like because of Plexus videos. They have product info videos, all kinds of different things to train yourself on this business and train yourself on products. Podcasts, right? We've got lots of different great podcasts out there in the network marketing field. Of my favorites right now are Kristen Boss and Bob Heilig. Those are my two favorites. YouTube trainings. We have incredible YouTube trainings for people in the field. Like Emily has done lots of good YouTube trainings on her YouTube channel. Other diamonds have as well. There's a plethora of resources. Our team specifically, we do Monday night accountability calls. That is going to include training. We do book studies together, always training ourselves, always doing that. So we have great resources to help you in that. Is this you?
So yeah, this is me.
Okay.
So you're going to see here, you have a daily goal. I say you, we, people who want to have a strong, sustainable business within Plexus, we have a daily goal of something called 3211. So all of our accountability girls, this is what we do every day. 3211. When you see the 3, that means send 3 reach out messages, send 2 follow-ups, do 1 post, and then do 1 training. So for those of you who are like, okay, I just need a checklist. Like, I just need somebody to tell me what to do. I can do it. I just need a checklist. This is your checklist. This is how you grow your business. Just like Cara said at the very beginning, how do you go silver and beyond? 3, 2, 1, 1. And then within that, you're going to learn and you're going to grow, and then you're going to grow people underneath you, and you're going to duplicate, and your team is going to grow. And it's a beautiful, beautiful dance, but it starts with you doing that daily goal of 3, 2, 1, 1. And then we want to talk real quick about protecting your time, because within this business, you're your own boss. You don't have anybody standing down your neck, breathing down your neck, watching everything you're doing. And that can be hard when you have to be that disciplined, especially when a big platform of yours is going to be social media. 95% of my business came from social media, but you have to protect that time, because you can very easily get trapped in scrolling or becoming like having imposter syndrome and looking at other people and finding this inspiration. So you can have inspirations to post, but then you just kind of go down this deep, dark hole. And then next thing you know, you look up and 2 hours have passed. So protect that time. If you need to, set a timer. If you're going to be doing your scrolling, maybe tell yourself, okay, I'm going to send my 3 messages and my 2 follow-ups out first. Then I'm going to reward myself with 15 minutes of scroll time, and then I'm going to get back to work. So protecting your time in that. Also, when you are doing this business and you have a spouse, sometimes you might have calls like this, like Cara was saying, accountability call on Monday night, this call tonight. You want to protect that time with your spouse too by communicating really well with him or with her to let them know what your calendar is like, so that way you don't just throw it on them and it becomes a stressor. You want to really be good with your communication with your spouse, with your family, with your friends, with your team. And you want to make sure that you are doing the things, the most important things. We call that income producing activities, IPA. That is protecting your time, getting in and not doing the fluff, not scrolling, not wasting your time just watching trainings and not getting into activity. You've got to protect that time because that is a hard thing with this job. So as we wrap up here, I wanted to share a beautiful picture of some of the girls on our team. Cara's not in here because she was pushing out a baby, but this was from convention in Ohio back in June. And we did a little survey. And I asked the women that came, tell me what Plexus has done for you. Tell me how Plexus has changed your life. Oh gosh, this little bar is up here. Can you read that, Cara? Do you see the bar?
I can read it. The
Okay,
first one says,
yeah, read the first one. I'll read.
Okay, the first one says, gives me something to call my own outside of being a mom and a wife. Also helps my anxiety and a beautiful community.
Another friend, and these are all people from our team, helped me heal after loss, gave me a community of special women, and helps me close the income gap from having to leave my full-time job after baby. And then another one of our sweet friends said, Plexus has helped me be a better mom, wife, and teacher. I now have energy to be active, play, and be the best version of me. I have fun again. I also have learned more about myself and pushed myself out of my comfort zone more than I ever have before. I'm so thankful that I had a friend reach out about Plexus. This business can be hard because we're working with people. This business can be challenging because if for a long time it's had this weird stigma. It's getting out of that stigma. More and more people are really understanding the beauty of this business model, but there are still some snarky people that have attitudes about this, but they're probably the same people who have attitudes about lawyers and teachers and doctors and all the things. But I want you to see here that this is a group of women. We have men that are doing this with us as well, that feel seen. They feel seen, they feel loved, they feel supported. Even though this is a silly picture where we were all saying, okay, everybody laugh. Like, I look at this picture and these are genuine, beautiful smiles because we all feel a part of something big and significant and full of purpose. And that is what this business has done for all of us. John Maxwell says, if we're growing, we are always going to be outside our comfort zone. So this may not seem comfortable to you right now, but I promise you, if you dive into this and if you stick with the daily activities, those income producing activities, 3, 2, 1, 1, you get involved, you come to the team calls, you involve your sponsor, and you have fun with this, I promise it will be a life-changing blessing for you and your family. Thank you guys so much for being on. We really hope to have that done in 30 minutes, and we went far beyond that. We'll try to shave off some things next time, but we really appreciate you guys being on. If you guys have any questions, feel free to stay. I'll stay on here. But if you have any questions, feel free to stay and I can help answer some of those questions. But thank you guys so much for being on. We love you and we appreciate you. Bye, everyone. What do you mean student success tips? Oh yeah, and then Mel, you asked me all the questions. Oh,
Well,
it's just balance. So Karen, that's what
yeah.
it is. You got to have priorities and you've got to have balance and you've got to get off of the things that maybe time sucks for you, whether that's television or the cell phone or social media. Like, find the things that are sucking time from your day, put those to the side. And that's why you have to do those income producing activities. Prioritize those so that way you get that done first thing in the day or as soon as you're done with your schoolwork. for sure. Because here's the thing, we have women who have 12 children, who are homeschooling 12 children, are at the top of the company. So here's the thing, if they can do it, anybody can do it, truly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and being coachable too. Like that's the thing too. Like hearing trainings like this and getting into action, like doing them, you know. Anybody else? Melanie, I don't appreciate your question of what is my diddy daddy? I don't even know, but it's the best question in the world. Okay, anybody else? What did my husband think about you doing it as a business? At first he was skeptical. We both were super skeptical, but we spent that month before I joined. I brought him in and we talked about it all the time. He was a part of making that pro and con list. We prayed about it for a full month together. So when it came down to me feeling like a piece and a prompting to do this, he was totally on board because he trusted me. And he knew that we had gone like the right way about it. But he was skeptical when I was skeptical. Is there a difference in having people buying under you and selling with Plexus? People ask if I'm selling Plexus and I don't really know what to say to that. Is there a difference of having people buying under you? And so Teresa, do you have customers under you? Like, do you have people buying products under you? I'm going to stop recording this actually. Hold on a second.